Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. So on Friday, we had the big summer reveals by GW, and it has finally been unveiled, the Scouring Series. And I am beyond overjoyed. And so of course today, I just wanted to have a little discussion about it, take a look at what we know, and what we can guess. I really need to start live streaming, I guess, so we can have real conversations about it in real time. I'll try and figure out how to start doing that the best way and then get the ball rolling. Even if it's just one a week where we can have a little lore chat and catch up. However, anyway, as for today, let's head over to the Warhammer community website to check out the announcement and see what we can figure out on things to come. Okay, so what exactly are we getting with the Scouring Series? Sure, we know in-universe it's picking up in the aftermath of the Heresy, showing us the evolution of the Golden Age into the Grim Dark. But how many books is it going to be? Are we talking Heresy series in scope, or something far smaller? And well, we don't really know at this point. They haven't given us that information. All we do have is this passage here. A major multi-book, multi-author series coming soon from the Black Library, detailing the grave aftermath of the Siege of Terror. So that could mean anything really, though the term major multi-book, multi-author series has me more hoping for something closer to the Heresy series than, say, the Dawn of Fire. However, the picture we have of the first installment does look eerily similar to the Siege of Terror novels that we've just ended, which was only 10 main books long. So I think we will probably be looking at something more like that in size and scope. Far smaller in number, but chunkier installments. Hopefully we'll get a little more clarity on just what it's going to be like soon. But fingers crossed for something bigger. Not just for personal enjoyment, but because the Scouring really is as important as the Heresy to the future Imperium, the 40k universe that we know, and far more grander in scope than just the Siege of Terror. However, as we can see, the first installment is titled Ashes of the Imperium, and it's authored by Chris Wright, and this is something I'm absolutely ecstatic about, as Chris Wright is one of my absolute favourite authors. The White Scar series, the Watchers of the Throne, the Warhammer crime novel Bloodlines, all of them absolutely stellar, and I'm still waiting for a sequel to Bloodlines. I hope we're going to get one soon. So I've got really high hopes for this. Now it states the Scouring is going to follow 3 key perspectives: the Loyalists, the Traitors, and the rest of humanity. What happened to the Emperor? What's next for the Imperium? And can control be wrested back from the Primarchs? And that's going to be pretty interesting to see play out, considering we know Guilliman is going to be Lord Commander. And in speaking of that, the cover art here is certainly giving off vibes of a conflict and disagreement between Rogel and Rabute here. But surely this can't be because of the Codex Astartes yet. That feels far too soon, and I don't think it is, as we can see Lionel Johnson present here also, in the watching crowd, and we know he is gone by the time the Codex is announced, as it was confirmed by Russ's Primarch novel, with Russ speculating that he would have absolutely opposed it, only learning of Guilliman's breaking of the legions 10,000 years later, as we saw within The Lion Son of the Forest, and being completely pissed off with it as Russ expected. However, the rest of the crowd being present here also definitely implies that this is far sooner and far closer to the Heresy's immediate end. As well, perhaps the biggest clue being Rogel's armour still being tattered and damaged. His cloak here all burnt and covered in holes, literally looking like Rogel has just stepped off the battlefield. Whereas Guilliman, looking pretty regal and pristine, it has to be said. So this could be anything from Rogel letting out his anger at Guilliman for being late, to a simple disagreement on what to do next. But it's a clear sign of how things have already changed for the Primarchs. We know Rogel is going to be a very different man moving forward. And heck, maybe we're going to discover that Rogel doesn't freely relinquish the Lord Commander position at all. That it's a decision forced upon him by the Lords of Terror. Either way, we're going to be seeing disagreement between them and the cracks crumbling of that once impregnable relationship. And we can see the rest of the loyal Primarchs in attendance here too, with Jagatai recovered from his wounds at the hand of Mortarion, though still bearing the signs of battle, his eye bandaged and scarred here. So I think we can expect to see Jagatai pulling himself up and off his recovery bed a bit too soon, before he really should. And does it look like he's interrupting here, about to silence or stop Rogel and Guilliman's arguments? It definitely looks like it, judging by the expression upon his face, whereas El Johnson passive and watching as ever. Russ seemingly the same, Valdor not pleased, and Vulcan looking like he could just be moving forward himself, about to interject himself into the argument. And actually, in thinking about it, it appears there's no Corax here either. The Raven Lord possibly still not present yet upon the throne world, so it must surely be very soon post-siege, as surely Corax would definitely be visiting the throne world as soon as he heard of his father. The two of them having a great relationship, definitely one of the better ones regarding the Primarchs and the Emperor. For me, it would be very odd for Corax not to head to Terra to see him, to see the Emperor upon the throne for himself. And how poignant is it that we can see Raldoron here, representing his fallen father, the Angel Sanguinius. How different the Scouring might have played out had he survived. Indeed, we could have been looking at him being the de facto Imperial Regent, the voice of the Emperor. But perhaps the biggest takeaway we can take away from this cover art is the presence of the mortals within the chamber. An immediate sign that this isn't going to be the Primarch's Imperium, that they aren't going to get things all their own way, and that they absolutely aren't going to be entitled to the kind of power their father had. Humanity has been scarred eternally by the events of the heresy, by the actions of the Primarchs, and the ones left, though loyal, are going to have to deal with the repercussions of that. We could see that actually becoming a big factor into Guilliman's thinking regarding the Codex in actual fact. Why he pushes the agreement to the brink of war with Rogel. It's going to be real intriguing indeed. Let's just hope we don't have to wait too long. Considering we're near the end of July already, and we're told it will be releasing later in the year, that's not too long to wait. The main thing is, we now know for certain it is on the way and upon the horizon, and we have got some good times ahead and some interesting speculation to discuss. But as always everyone, what do you think? Are you as excited about the Scouring series as me? And how large of a series do you expect it to be? A huge thank you to all my subscribers for your support. It truly means a lot to me, it really does. If you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too? But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.